Hello, everyone. How's everybody today? And happy Sunday. I thought I would go online just for a little while and talk about our show today. I'm Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour. We had a great show today. Our special guest was Reverend Frederick Shaw Jr., and our topic of discussion was mental health, Black America, and psychiatry. And it was a very, very informative discussion we had. And my son of Kinetic Fit and Wellness was also on the show among some other guests. So I just wanted to come in a little bit and just share with you a little bit about the show we had. And by the way, it will be uploaded on my YouTube channel, Aim to Purpose Radio, sometime next week because we were live in Zoom today. So go to my YouTube channel, Aim to Purpose Radio. We have a lot of other videos out there that will inform you because, as I mentioned, I started this show, the podcast, because I am the mad, motivated, and determined Black woman to support and help to elevate our Black community because we are such a divided ethnic group, and collectively working together, we can elevate ourselves, and we don't have to sit around and wait for someone else to validate, because as I've always said to everybody, I'm a warrior for justice, and I was born elevated and validated. So I'm not sitting around waiting for someone to validate me. But in our show today, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, and you can learn more when the show is uploaded on my YouTube channel, Aim to Purpose. What I guess caused me to decide a couple of weeks ago or so to ask Reverend Frederick Shaw Jr. to come on the show is because of an article we had seen. And I've been involved in the mental health environment industry for several years, actually since the mid-1990s when my son David was diagnosed with a rare bone cancer. And I had to deal since that time with the mental health department because of how this illness psychologically impacted him as a 14-year-old. So with that said, this article really set me into some kind of way, because this is a Columbia University psychiatrist who was high up there in the psychiatric industry, Dr. Jeffrey Lieberman. And his philosophy is that dark skin, those of us from the Black community, that this is freak of nature. And he was referring to a Black model, Miss Nia Kim Gatwich, and I hope I pronounced her name correctly, that her dark skin, beautiful Black model was a freak of nature. And a lot of this started with the father of psychiatry that wanted to use eugenics. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I'd like for you to watch what Reverend Frederick Shaw had to say about how the psychiatry industry views us as Black people. And he is well renowned into this subject matter because he's done a lot of research. He's traveled all over the world. And that's why I had him on. And I'm going to have him back on the show, and hopefully with some other guests, because we need to further discuss this with our mental health as Black people, because we must elevate ourselves. No one else has the interest in us like we should have into ourselves. So let's think about it and understand, because we got a lot of education today. And as I said, I have been dealing with the psychiatric industry since my son David was diagnosed with a rare bone cancer back in 1995. And I'm still dealing with it today. So this was a topic that I really wanted to discuss because the psychiatry industry has catapulted us into an undesirable position when they look at us as needing to be more white because they considered us as a darker skinned people inferior, that is a disease. And this psychiatrist here, Dr. Jeffrey Lieberman, inspired me to do this when I saw this article where Reverend Frederick Shaw had spoken about it. And he's the founder of the Citizens Commission on Human Rights Task Force Against Racism and Modern Day Eugenics. So be sure and go to my YouTube channel, Aim to Purpose Radio. Check out some of our videos, and this one will be uploaded. This is vital that we as Black people educate ourselves so we can know who we are and why all of this hatred is leveraged toward us as Black people. And it's unfortunate. And I'm not against any ethnic group because I'm about bringing more love into the world, and understanding who we are can get rid of some of the self-hate that we have against ourselves, as well as the divide and the root cause of it all. Because this is what it is. We are the most divided ethnic group in America, and it's all by design. So we need to really understand who we are, know our history. And that's why I do this show. So with that said, please do some reading, because reading really does open the mind to new opportunities, new understanding. And it's so important that we understand and know who we are. And one thing I'd like to say about today's show that Reverend Shaw really enlightened me on, and it has to do with a lot of times we're talking about our self-esteem, and he brought it home as to real esteem. So that means being realistic about who we are, know who we are, study our history, because you're not going to learn it in the white establishment. You're not going to learn our history and the root cause of all the symptomatic issues that we're having as Black people. So please do some reading, do some research, because if I hadn't done reading and research, I would have put my daughter on Ritalin, which is basically nothing but candy cocaine. And we must, as a Black community, come together collectively so that we can elevate ourselves. Nobody else is going to do it for us. Nobody. And if anybody is hating on you because you love yourself, that's not your problem. That's their problem. Each one of us must love ourselves first before we can love anybody else. And we know by design the root cause of us being so divided goes right back to enslavement. We've been entrapped in that mindset. It's been generational. And the only persons that can do it for us is ourselves, by educating ourselves on our history and who I am, and having some real esteem. And you'll find out more about that when you go and listen and watch our show that we aired today, which will be uploaded on my new YouTube channel, Aim to Purpose Radio. So go on my channel and subscribe, and you will find out more about why I am this mad Black woman, which the mad is for motivated and determined to support our Black community and help to elevate our people so that we can stop the self-hate and learn to love ourselves first. Thus, we can love each other. So also I wanted to share with you, next month, I'm going to be facilitating a vision board event. And it's going to be to help elevate our single Black women, particularly focused on single Black heads of household. Now, anybody is invited. It will be an event that's going to be online. I'll be putting it up pretty soon so that you can join us. It will be virtual, and I will be facilitating it. I've done many vision boards. I've facilitated vision boards, events, and we must have a vision to elevate ourselves. We must put a plan of action in place to elevate ourselves. This is how we come together as well, collectively, once we get the knowledge, because many of us are perishing because of lack of knowledge. And this is what this vision board event is going to be all about. It's going to be called Vision on Board, when we are going to talk about some of the things that has us, particularly single Black women, single heads of households with the lowest net worth in America. So we're going to change that. We will change it, no doubt. When you believe in yourself, you cannot lose. You're unstoppable. And that's what it's all about. You can do anything that your heart desire, once you know who you are and the why. And that's what I tell everybody. You got to know the why. I learned the why quite some time, and that is what has inspired me to do the things that I do. At 71, I feel vibrant. I'm not on any medication. Those medications, if you watch the TV commercials, you will see what they do to you. And every time you go to the doctor, if you're having some type of situation emotionally, that doesn't mean that you need a pill. You just may need some talk therapy, somebody to talk to understand who you are and what's going on in your life. It could be a medical issue. It doesn't have to be that you're suffering from something emotional. That medical issue could have brought on the emotional issue. So once we do that, we can be more mentally fit to get that success in life. And as I talk about success, I will always repeat that it's about growth, intellectually, mentally, and emotionally, physically, socially. All of these things will create your success and allow you to elevate yourself so that you can have that economic empowerment and leave some generational wealth for your children. Because our ancestors worked so hard for free. And what about those reparations that we as Black Americans should have gotten years ago for what our ancestors endured? And if they could endure what they endured, definitely we should just do something to be proud of what our ancestors did so that we can be where we are today. And I do appreciate and thank those who had the hearts to do the right thing from the white society and were not the white supremacists who will do anything and everything to keep us dumbed down. And that's not where we want to be. We do not want to stay stuck in that environment of being dumbed down, because that's what this American educational system is all about. So with that said, I just wanted to come in and briefly talk about that, because I'm so concerned about my people, being a Black woman, and I'm just a warrior for justice, the mad Black woman, motivated and determined to support my Black community. And I'm not against anybody else. I'm just about what's going to benefit our people to help us to come together collectively and be sustainable. That's what we have to do. So have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day. And let's by all means come together as a Black community so that we can resolve some of our own symptoms of what was by design to keep us divided. Again, I am Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour. And please go to my YouTube channel, Aim to Purpose Radio, and subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Check out some of the amazing things that we're doing to support our Black community and to elevate our people so that we can get the desires of our heart. So have a great day. Much love and bye-bye. See you all later.